Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ken, also known as MrKenDenis. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my current favorites video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys click on the subscribe button down below. I mainly do a lot of makeup related videos and also vlog about my personal life. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So for those of you guys that are new to my channel, I don't actually do monthly favorite videos because I tend to be using the same stuff pretty much all the time. I only tend to do it pretty much when there's something new in the routine or there's more than 5 that I can justify doing a new favorites video. Okay, so let's start off first with this facial oil. So this one is by Decay. This one is the CE Tetra. Obviously this is a sample size, so at my workplace we stock Decay and my boss wanted me to try out this so that, you know, I can give first-hand information account my experiences when I recommend this product to patients. So I do have a full-size one sent to me by the PR company, and you know what, I really love it. My skin looks definitely a lot brighter since using this. So if you guys don't know, vitamin C or vitamin C serums tend to make your skin look brighter, not necessarily whiter, but it definitely gives you this nice luminosity, and I feel like my skin has been needing that because I've been so stressed, haven't really been getting a lot of sleep lately, so something like this has really helped brighten up my complexion. Okay, next one is this eye cream by Decay. This one is the Hydrate Eye 360. So it says total anti-aging eye cream, contains a lot of good things really, like vitamin C as well, anti-aging properties and caffeine, so I don't get puffy underneath the eyes. Also it's got SPF 15 and a 5-star UVA rating, so what that basically means is that it's going to be really good for sun protection. And also I love the fact that it's got caffeine because I have puffy under eyes, especially during the morning, and it takes forever for it to go away. And yeah, sometimes you just want your eyes to be snatched like that really early in the morning, so this is definitely something that I've been applying. I don't really need much. I apply it underneath there and then poof, the under eyes aren't puffy anymore, and it also helps with the eye makeup. I feel like it just glides on a lot smoother under there. Next one is the Simple Kind to Skin Cleansing Facial Wipes. Even removes waterproof mascara. So the company sent me this, and I think I had already tried it out previously, or it might have been a different formula. I think this is just the original one. I actually really like this. It's actually really good at removing makeup. I always like having makeup wipes on hand just because sometimes I feel, you know, micellar waters are really good, but sometimes I just can't be bothered to put it into the cotton pad, if that makes sense. So having it on the go, on like with wipe form, is just so easy, so good. Like the formula is really good. It's very saturated, and I do feel like it removes a lot of the makeup. Obviously I always use this as a first step. I don't just rely on these things just to remove all my makeup, but overall I'm pretty happy with the formula. It works really well. It doesn't leave you with this oily residue on the skin, so pretty happy. Okay, next product is a skincare product, but I would pretty much use this more as a makeup related product. So this one is the Uriage Thermale thermal water. So it's just the hydrate water thing, so it's basically like a spritz. So basically I use this as a setting spray essentially. So when I know that I don't need longevity in my makeup, this is just something that I use to melt down that powder and, you know, makes it look all flawless. I think that's pretty much it for skincare. Oh no, there's one more. So it's a lip scrub from LUSH. So this is the chocolate lip scrub. So this is part of their Easter collection. So if you guys don't know, the Easter collection is out. I'll leave details down in the description box down below. If you guys live in Australia, definitely check it out. I've done a bath bomb already. I think it was called the Which One Came First bath bomb. It came crushed in the mail, but I still managed to use it. So it says chocolate, but it definitely has a orangey, tangy scent to it. Works really well. I used it over the weekend and oh my gosh, it's just such a luxury to use, especially when you've been experiencing dry lips and you use something like this to exfoliate. It works really well. I also love the fact that there's also a bit of an oil, so your lips don't feel bone dry after you exfoliate, because I've tried other lip scrubs before and then they do have oils as well, but they're not as hydrating as this, so I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, let's move on to the makeup. Now, as you guys know, I've been using the Maybelline Baby Skin as my primer for my project pan, but because I have been, you know, trying out different products, because I've been trying out different things from different brands, I've decided to use this one. This one is the NYX Pore Filler Primer. So this one is a good alternative to the Benefit Professional. Not exactly the same, but it does a very similar things essentially. It gives you a very similar effect. I like it, works really well. I feel like my pores aren't as visible when I use this compared to other pore filling primers. It's definitely a silicone based primer, so if you guys don't like silicones, definitely stay away from this one. But again, this is like a sample size, it came in like a little kit. But as soon as this goes, and if I don't have any other primers that I need to use up, I'll definitely repurchase this one. Okay, I'm dropping things already. So as you guys can probably tell, I'm very, very chilled when it comes to like favorites videos, just because it's just me and you just chatting what I've been loving, and hopefully you guys will love these products too if you guys decide to try them out. Okay, moving on to a concealer. So I have been loving the NARS, is it creamy matte? No, soft matte complete concealer in medium to ginger. Absolutely been loving this. It's just a nice pot concealer. It's a little bit more expensive than, let's say, a cream concealer that I could get from MAC, but I like the fact that it's not shiny and you don't really need a lot of powder to set underneath the eyes, and it doesn't crease. Like, you know, I know the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, a lot of people had an issue with that being really creasy, but this one, I don't have that problem, so I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, now let's move on to bronzer. Now, some of you guys might think this is sacrilegious, but I have been using my Mariah Carey Extra Dimension. Yeah, it's Extra Dimension Skin Finish in My Mimi. So her face has pretty much been rubbed off already. Like, you can still make out her face and stuff, but, you know, I've been using this just to bronze up my face. Like, it's just a nice color just to add to the skin. And it's a nice color to use as an eyeshadow as well, if you can see that. Yeah, I've been loving this. It just gives my skin that nice bit of warmth that I feel like it's been lacking the last few weeks. Yeah, I know it's sacrilegious for all my fellow lambies, but I love it. It's such a good color though. Okay, now this one is just a recent addition to like my collection, but I've already been using it non-stop since getting it. This is the Revlon Sculpt and Highlight Contour Kit. This one is in medium dark. So, oh no, medium tan, sorry. So this is the one that Chloe Morello is... I don't even know if she actually selected the colors or she was just so, I don't know, like consulted to choose these colors. I have no idea. But anyway, I really like these. Now, the contour shade on this one is, I have to admit, is a little bit warm for my liking, but it still works. Like, that's what I'm wearing today. And as for like a daily contour, it works. I like it. The bronzer in this one, I like it as well, but this one gives me that glowy bronze. This one is just like a matte bronze, so it just really depends on what I'm feeling that day. But otherwise, this palette's pretty much everything I need in terms of like contouring, highlighting. So that yellow powder is really good as well, just to underneath the eyes, just brighten that up. Highlighter, I'm not a big fan of, just because it's more of a soft glow type highlighter. We will get into the glowing highlighter that I'm wearing at the moment in a second. So if you guys have been following my channel and my Instagram for the last few weeks, you guys would have known that I finally got my hands on the Anastasia Beverlyhills Nicole Guerreiro palette. Glow kit, sorry. This stuff is amazeballs, like, oh. So when I first got this palette, I didn't really think I would use Daydream that often, but I have to say, I've been using Daydream quite often. Like, I thought I would reach for Kitty Cat more, but I've been using Daydream more during the day, because I feel like it's got that nice warmish goldy undertone. That's what I'm wearing on the cheeks right now, and it looks great for, I would say, like daytime glam. Like, it's still very metallic-y, blinding. It's so hard to describe because I don't feel like this camera is like, I don't think any camera is going to be able to give justice to this highlighter. It's just so pretty. I basically use Daydream during the day because it's got that nice warm undertone. It's not too blinding, so, you know, I can use it and still get away with like a daily look. But at night, that's when we party. I use Kitty Cat, and that stuff is blinding. I went to AJ's birthday party and everyone else was like saying, oh my god, your highlight is so bright. It's not even light, like bright in this room, but it's so blinding. And you know your highlight is that good when in dim lighting, it's very blinding. And then I've also been loving Forever Lit. I'm actually wearing Forever Lit on top of a matte blue eyeshadow today, and girl, look at the effect that it's done to this eyeshadow. It is insane. This palette is definitely worth every penny, every dollar that I paid for. We don't even have pennies in Australia, I don't think, but every dollar that I paid for. But yeah, very, very happy with this. Now, this may not come as a surprise to you guys, but I have been loving my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Now, again, this is one of those palettes that has mixed reviews. Some people hate it, some people love it. I personally love it. I like the scent. Some people don't. I love it. definitely have to agree the mattes aren't the best in this palette, but they're definitely workable. And I just like the color selection. Like, I feel like I don't have a palette that has these particular shades in this particular finish, so you know, I'm pretty happy with it. I know these, not Sweet Peach, I know that Too Faced is releasing a new palette. It's the Peanut Butter and Honey palette. I don't know, I don't really like that yellow in there, so I probably won't get it. And also there's a lot of repeats of brown. That's the only thing I feel like when you buy Too Faced palettes, you get a lot of browns, which isn't a bad thing because you really need those browns to do a lot of crease work anyway. But if you have a bajillion palettes like myself, you just really want the, I don't know, like the unique colors in those palettes. Okay, speaking of unique colors, so this one is the Urban Decay Nocturnal Shadow Box palette. I can't talk today. I'm actually wearing Heroine, which is that, I would say navy blue on top of the lids. And then on top of that, I'm wearing Forever Lit from the Anastasia palette. And again, like I said, it's stunning, it's beautiful. I love this palette for adding like pops of color, because as you guys can see, there are some colors in there that, you know, I feel like other palettes don't have. If not, they do have. They're not as bright and pigmented as these colors are. Yeah, I really like this. But don't let this brown color deceive you. It is super pigmented. It's almost like a black color, guys. Like, that's what it looks like. It's almost black. So it's definitely a palette that I feel either you're really into cut creases and you're going to just make this work, or you need this in combination with another palette so that, you know, you can kind of tone it down a tiny bit. Not by much, but just a tiny bit. Okay, moving on to beauty tools. So I've got brushes. So these brushes are by Platinum. So these guys are actually from the supermarket, so from Woolworths. So I know, wait a minute. Hear me out, because I know some people have this negative connotation when you buy stuff from the supermarket, like makeup related items, unless it's like Maybelline, L'Oreal, they're not going to be great. These are actually really good. I'm actually surprised that they're only being sold at Woolworths, because the quality of these brushes are definitely, I would say, Priceline worthy. Like, okay, let's start off first with this brush. So this is the powder brush. Now, look at how big that brush is compared to this Extra Dimension Skin Finish. That is a massive brush. So let me just grab like a normal sort of like powder brush from Real Techniques. That is huge. You can get a huge area on your face with this brush. I love it. It works really well, and it's not hard to clean. Like, I use the Daiso Puffin sponge cleaner admittedly, and that makes things so much easier, but this is really good. Like, look at that. It covers a lot on my face, so I love that. For highlighting, I use a variety of brushes, but one that I love for pinpoint application is this one. This is the small powder brush. Like, this is something you'd probably use for like maybe blush, but I don't know, because of how big my cheekbones are, I suppose, it works really well just for application there. Works really well. These brushes are synthetic, from what I can tell. They work really well. Again, from Platinum are these beauty sponges. So I think they come in a set. They're called the Precision something. I don't know. I'll leave the exact names down in the description box down below. But basically this one is like an egg with a flat bit up there and like a little bit of an indent there, so you can hold the sponge like that. And then there's the typical egg sponge that kind of looks like a beauty blender, but it's definitely much wider than a beauty blender. Guys, I have to say, this pink one in particular is so soft. It's even softer than the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponge and the Diamond sponge. It is so soft and bouncy. Like, it's almost as bouncy as a beauty blender. I know, that is like a huge claim to make for a sponge that you can buy from the supermarket, but it is so good. It's so soft. I can't stop just squeezing it like that, and then when I bounce it on my face, it just blends things so nice. It's definitely one of those sponges you can't feel the actual pores in the sponge. I've only been using it for like 3 weeks now, I think, but it's so good. It's definitely one of my favorite sponges at the moment. So for the lips, I'm actually wearing a NYX Lingerie. I forgot the name of the shade, but I'll leave it down in the description box down below if you guys are interested. But for lips, standout that I have been loving this month is this one from Maybelline. This is the color Jolt in number 5, Stripped Down. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Hold your horses. This is very similar to, I would say, like Velvet Teddy, but it's a little bit pinkier and definitely shinier, but it's, let me show you. So it's got a sponge applicator, which I'm not a big fan of. I'd rather if they just give me like a, I don't know, like a brush. But anyway, that is the shade. And so hair products, I haven't really changed my hair products at all. Like, I'm very particular with my hair, so whatever works, I just stick to it. But I did decide to venture out and try a different dry shampoo. Admittedly, this was sent to me, but this one is the Tresemme Instant Refresh Volumizing Dry Shampoo. It just came at the time when my other dry shampoo from Batiste finished, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try it out, let's see if it works. And girl, it actually works. Now, this is a dry shampoo that definitely does not have a white cast. It's, unless you build it up like a really thick amount, to which case you probably should have just washed your hair because it's just way too much. But this stuff works really well. I love it. See, I spritz it and it doesn't really coat the roots. So if you guys don't like that white cast that most dry shampoos leave in your hair, definitely check this one out. The scent does linger in the hair for quite some time, and I do find that my hair isn't as, what's the word, like powdery when I run my fingers through. You know how like sometimes when you put dry shampoo in your hair, you definitely feel like a lot of powder is still in the hair. Like with the Batiste dry shampoo, I spritz it and I don't brush it out because I also need it for like root concealing. But I do find that when I run my fingers through it, it's like, oh my god, it's just so much powder and it just won't come off my hands until I wash it. Whereas with this one, it doesn't. I feel like it just sticks to the oil and just stays on the scalp until you need to wash it off. That's TMI, but you know what I mean. One last product is tech. Now, it's this watch by Samsung. This is the Samsung Gear S3. So it's basically a smartwatch. You can, you know, customize it and everything. I'm not going to really spend too much time talking about this watch. If you guys would like me to talk about it in detail for how a beauty person uses it, definitely let me know in the description box, in the comment box down below if you guys are interested. But basically, it's a smartwatch. You can talk to it. You can do a lot of things on it. One of my favorite features on this one is obviously that I feel like I'm a Power Ranger when I, you know, answer a call. I'm like, hello, Zordon. Come in, Zordon. Come in, Alpha 5. By the way, I haven't seen the new movie yet. I don't know how I feel about it because I've been a big fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I feel like the movie, based on the trailer, doesn't do it justice. But anyway, that's me. So one of my favorite features on this watch is the S Health app. So basically, there's one app. It's very plain and very simple, but I find that it really helps me out. It's the how many amounts of coffee you've had in the day and how much water you've had in the day. Like sometimes I chug coffee like no other, and sometimes I forget like how much water I should be drinking to counteract the amount of caffeine that I have in my body. So it's really nice and handy to have that in there. And also when I'm trying to be healthier, it counts my steps, counts my calories. To be completely honest, I'm still learning how to work this watch to its full capacity. I mean, obviously I can read text messages, look at my calendar and stuff like that, which makes it quite easy, especially because I like to wear quite skinny pants and it's hard to get my phone out sometimes, so it's just so easy to just go through my watch. To be completely honest, I'm still learning a lot about this watch, like the features and everything, but tell me down in the comment box down below if you guys have this watch, what apps I should be downloading for it to make my life a lot easier, and also what are your favorite features with the watch. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you guys enjoyed. Tell me down in the comment box down below what have you guys been loving recently. I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to check out these other videos on the screen, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!